Iyawa stares straight ahead as police cars gather outside and the Bangladeshi migrant workers look terrified. Iyawa tells the rest of the knights that this is unexpected but manageable. They listen to her as the gangster cousin's son taunts them about how the police will arrest them all when they see a Japanese man with his hand cut off. Iyawa asks, "Can someone shout him up so I can think?" Ama knocks the cousin's son on the head, knocking him out. The boss Takumi-san and his cousin's son sit on the floor. Iyawa tells Ama that this means an extra job for Faye, so she will have to send the money directly to their account from the computer at the building, and asks if she remembers the login details. Ama replies, "Of course," with a thumbs up. Iyawa asks Faye if that's alright, as they have the option of stalling the police. In a split screen, Faye responds that that would be great. Faye mentions that a neighbour called, and so Iyawa asks Boram to be the neighbour that saw the gang going in. Iyawa tells everyone to do this and everyone goes their separate ways. Boram looks outside and sees a bunch of police officers whilst Ama sits herself in front of the company computer. Boram approaches the police, saying how she thought she saw a gang going into the factory, but her brother then reminded her that it was just the owner's young nephew and his friends. As she continues to explain that she didn't think so many of them would come, Iyawa and Pulan help get the rest of the workers into a coach that is on standby. Faye tells Ama that she is almost done with the police and ready to receive the money. Ama says she needs 2 more minutes. The computer screen shows that the transaction is complete and Ama celebrates, saying she is done. Faye tells her to get Boram, get the cars and follow the coach. The police are suddenly informed by the radio that there is a disturbance nearby and they drive off as Boram waves to them, relieved. The next scene is of Faye saying, "You're welcome guys," and the van, or the coach, driving along the road. Pulan tells the workers that they can relax for a couple of days, but they should think about whether they want to go home or relocate somewhere in Japan, for which the knights can help them get their papers. In a split screen, one of the workers looks troubled, which both Iyawa and Pulan notice. Iyawa asks Pulan to keep an eye on this particular worker whilst she is away. Boram asks where they are going, and Iyawa responds that they have had a request to take care of a case from their comrades in Hong Kong. Boram looks surprised and asks, "We have comrades in Hong Kong?" Over a map of the world, Iyawa says that if Boram is with them now, then yes, they have comrades all over the world. Over a background of Hong Kong, Iyawa continues that whilst Hong Kong has currently become a political battleground, their priority, as always, are the most marginalised in an area that has one of the biggest gaps of economic inequality. In front of a high-rise building in Hong Kong, Faye, Iyawa and Mali stand in front, Mali saying this is the place. The scene then cuts to a Chinese family enjoying their dinner. In the kitchen, their domestic workers, Miriam, 48 years old, born in Manila and been in Hong Kong for 20 years. Putri, 21 years old, born in Jakarta and been in Hong Kong 12 months. The father of the family states that there is no soya sauce. The mother calls to the domestic workers saying there is no soya sauce. When they hesitate to respond, she shouts more, asking them to bring it now. Miriam is concerned and so brings the soya sauce. The father asks what took so long, and the teenage daughter reprimands him, saying that Miriam was having dinner herself. He tells his daughter to not talk back and not to give the domestic workers opportunity to talk back, as they pay them good money. Putri interjects, saying you don't pay us enough to interrupt our dinner, saying that she knows that they underpay them, they've hidden them, they've taken their passports, they sleep on the floor whilst their new babysitter from America lives in her own apartment. They only have one day off, and even then he's threatened them to come home by saying that he'll tell the police they were stealing, calling him a dishonest piece of shit, to which he responds, how dare you. The teenage daughter agrees, saying, Dad, you're right, you treat them horribly. The father goes to hit Putri, calling her ungrateful. His hand is stopped. Faye has grabbed his hand, saying, you really don't want to do that, mister, with Mali and Iyawa in the background. The three of them say how they have treated them very badly, and that they are awful people who have withheld the workers' letters from their family. Faye mentions Miriam's daughter, to which Miriam says that her daughter must have forgotten about her, but Faye reassures her that her daughter is now working a good job and wants her mother to come home, and that she doesn't have to work there anymore. Miriam is overjoyed as she reads the letter and is happy that she can see her little girl again. But the father of the family responds, what about my youngest, angrily pointing. Putri interjects again, saying, you selfish bastard. She sacrificed her own child growing up to raise his own children, and his teenage daughter agrees, saying that he owes her for raising his daughter with love and care. The father says he doesn't know why he's suddenly a villain, that he employed these foreign women and that he works just as hard as they do. Miriam is angry, saying, how dare you. She's saying that he has no idea of the work they do and how their lives would fall apart without them. They've grown dependent on them and treat them as machines, forgetting that they have hearts and families they want to see. Faye demands that he gives them back their passports along with the labour money that he owes them for their labour. He says he doesn't owe them shit. Mali takes her sword out and whacks it on the table in between his fingers. He bleeds lightly, and Faye says, how about we don't do this the hard way for once. The next scene is Miriam at the airport terminal. She has her bags packed and is looking at a photo of her daughter, happy that she can see her little girl soon, saying that I'm coming, sweetheart. In the next scene, Faye, Iyawa and Mali have Putri in their car, and Putri says, I'm coming to Japan with you. Mali responds that yes, they have a job lined up for her working with the Indonesian community, and that she can arrange to get the papers for them, but they can stay with the Knights, and she can stay with the Knights until she's sorted. Putri is concerned about how they'll get to Japan and get her a work visa. The car ends up on a cliff and the tires rev. Iyawa claims that she will have to trust them, and Putri looks scared. The car flies off the edge of the cliff. A mechanical sound makes the tires go inside, and the car has transformed into a circular boat that is now undersea. Iyawa claims again that Putri will have to trust them.